Hello, hi, a very happy good evening. So this is Krishnaveni and we've been talking about the story of life on earth, and that's biology. Yes, welcome to my lecture. So today we are in lecture 3 of breathing and exchange of gas. We are going to complete this chapter. So hello, hi, a very happy good evening ASM. Hi Dinesh. So you are here? Yes, a very happy good evening Dinesh. I'm waiting. Yes, I can instantly recognize you. Okay. You're having more doubts. Yes, ask me, what are your doubts in biology? Yes, I'm really sorry. I'm 5 minutes late today. Okay, so I'm really sorry. Okay, so hi Anthony Abhi, a very happy good evening. Yes, I'm good guys. How are you all? Good? Yes. So thank you so much for joining my session. So please do like, share and subscribe. So tell your friends also that here I'm teaching the entire biology, both class 11, class 12, both botany and zoology. So let your friends know. So shall we talk about breathing and exchange of gas? So do you remember the definitions that we read in the previous lecture? Yes? So shall we move forward? Yes, Anthony says he's good. Alright. So before we go forward with breathing and exchange of gas, so it's going to be a very short lecture because we're just going to end the chapter today. So let's see, I have a few announcements to make which you already know. So please join me for a trip to CMC Velo. So it's going to be a very interactive session. Apart from the monotonous biology lectures that we have, it's going to be one out of the box. So we are just going to have an interaction. So what is your plan after NEET? So NEET is not the end, right? So what are you guys going to do after NEET exams? So how have you planned your life? So it will be a beautiful journey. So please join me this evening at 6 p.m. So we will talk about CMC because it's one of the prestigious college. So very soon, yes, I will talk about a lot of colleges, but we start with CMC Velo. So this session is at 6 p.m. So please join me. All right. Hi Munna, yes, I'm good. How are you? How is your cold? I heard you had fever. So yesterday Shimpi told me you're fine. How are you now? Yes, it's Velo Fort that's behind. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes, Grace, hello, hi, a very happy good evening. So thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. You have invited 5 of your friends. All right, that's fine. So thank you so much. That itself is enough. So if they join or not, that is not your problem, but thank you. You have done your efforts. So thank you so much, Dinesh. So shall we move forward? So once again, a gentle reminder, so please don't get angry on me for showing the slide every now and then. I hope it reaches out to everyone who's looking for a crash course in English medium, because normally they conduct in mixed language. So this is the first time they are having in a mixed language. So you are having all the 3 subjects. So you have P, C and B. So it is for 1999 and it's not very far. The class is going to commence very quickly. So it's going to start from 15th of July. So it's really beneficial because in a day you have 3 lectures, 1 of physics, 1 of bio, 1 of chemistry. And every Saturday we have doubt counters through Zoom, and Sunday we are having unit tests. So it is worth it. So please spread the word and ask your friends to join as well. Okay. So please explain clear in crash course. So what should I explain clear in crash course? Yes, what should I explain? So crash course is for those people who have completed 2 rounds of revision and who are just looking for a final touch. That is why they come to crash course. It is not for students who want to finish the subject in 45 days. That is not possible, because a particular chapter for me to teach here on a YouTube platform without any stress takes me more than 2 lectures. So if I go forward, then in 45 days I cannot finish, right? So you want me to explain about the crash course. Okay, so yesterday I guess you texted me in Telegram asking how to do the payment. So this crash course is accessible only through your eCareerPoint app. Okay, I didn't watch the first 2 lectures. Will I be able to understand this lecture? Just give it a try. It's okay. Otherwise, go back to lecture 1 of breathing and exchange of gas and start from there. Alright, so yes, talking about this crash course, so explaining to you ASM channel. This is accessible only through your eCareerPoint app. So please download your eCareerPoint app from your Google Play Store. So when you log in with your Gmail ID, you get an OTP, so you enter inside. Alright, so there you have so many panels below. So there you choose courses. So there you have 45 days NEET crash course. So select the course, it will ask for an option, purchase the course. yes, purchase it, do the payment, it is done. Okay, so that is how you purchase this course. So how will the classes happen? So every day, so if the classes start at 10 o'clock, you will open the app. So you will be able to see my video lectures live. So you will have the questions attached. So we will have a separate lecture where we will discuss the questions as well. And for doubt classes, they will share a separate link with you. And for unit test, yes, they will attach it in the crash course link itself. Now for you to download my YouTube PPTs, you are going to free stuff, right? So there you will go to course activity and there you will find the unit test accessible for you. Alright, ASM channel. So I don't know when they will shift the price back. So that is my only concern. So yes, all of you, for all of you, this is a bit huge amount, right? So that is why I am recommending 1999 is a very nice amount and it's worth the go. So please join. Alright, so ASM, did you understand? Yes? Okay, fine. So this is the instruction that I want to give. Oh, you're going to gym. You're going to gym. Hi, Shimpi. Yes, a very happy good evening. I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Yes, thank you so much for all of you joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Ma'am, all the lessons can you tell? Yes, I will be teaching all the 38 chapters in biology in 45 days, which means I can just give you a summary. So every lecture will be a shortened form. So if you are a student who's looking to cover up syllabus in 45 days, then I am not standing up for you. I am against you. It is for those students who have done revision, who just needs a final touch. Yes, I know for Keshav, Antonia B, they are very good. They just need final rounds of revision. So for them, yes, it is useful. So Shimpi is in class 11. So for her, I will come next year. Okay, yes. Where are you from? So yes, I am an Indian. So the common answer that I give. Okay. Oh, you're calling her Maharani. Alright, fine. Yes. So here we go. Lecture 3 of breathing and exchange. So what are the topics that we were discussing? So we were talking about the passage of your respiratory organs in detail. How does the mechanism of breathing happen? So how exchange of gas happens, how transport happens, what is regulation, which we will talk today. Alright? Yes? Okay, so how many of you remember what we spoke in the first lecture? Yes, give me the quick recap. So what is the passage of your respiration? Yes, so it starts off with your nostrils, right? Then you have your nasal chamber. Then it moves into your pharynx. Then into your trachea. So your pharynx is the common passage. So here you also have larynx and then it moves into trachea. So trachea is your windpipe, right? So then it opens into bronchi. So this is our primary bronchi and then this further opens into bronchioles. And then you have your alveoli, right? So this is the passage. Can I stay or go with the first lecture? So watch for some 5-6 minutes because I am anyways giving you a recap. If you're still not able to understand the gist, then go back to the first lecture, alright? Yes, Antonia B, you're absolutely right. So from your bronchi till your alveoli, it is your lungs. Right, so this is the part. So your lung is double membrane and its membrane is known as your pleural membrane. And the space between the double membrane, it is double membrane like this. So the space between the two membrane is filled with your pleural fluid. Right, so this is something very basic that we started off with. So there are two parts of your respiratory system. The first part is your conducting part. And the next part is your exchange part. So conducting part includes from your nostrils till your secondary bronchioles. So it moves on from your nostrils till your bronchioles. And your exchange part includes your alveoli and its duct. So alveoli is the actual site of gaseous exchange. Right, so these are the two parts. So you have conducting part and you have exchange part. So this is the first thing, and then moving forward, how does the mechanism of breathing happen? So it happens in two ways. So first you have inspiration, then you have expiration, right? So how does these two happen? So for these two to happen, you need a pressure gradient. So how is this pressure gradient developed? So this pressure gradient is developed with the help of ribs, diaphragm and your internal intercostal muscles or external intercostal muscles. So all these help in the establishment of pressure gradient. How is the pressure established? And even if there is a pressure, what is the movement of your air? Yes, Swami, a very happy good evening. So thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Okay, so how is the pressure established? Okay, so the lungs are located in a region known as the thoracic region. Right? So whenever the pressure inside the lungs is more, so how is the exchange of gas happening? So ultimately it is that you give out carbon dioxide and you take in oxygen, right? So this is the ultimate law of respiration, and the process of exchange happens in the alveoli. So this exchange happens by the process of simple diffusion. So how does diffusion happen? So diffusion happens from higher concentration to lower concentration. Right? Suppose if the pressure inside my lungs, which is known as intrapulmonary pressure, if this pressure is greater than the atmospheric pressure, so then the air moves from higher concentration, the gas moves from higher concentration to the lower concentration, meaning the carbon dioxide moves out. Okay, so if it's the other case, if the pressure inside the lungs, which is your intrapulmonary pressure, it is less than your atmospheric pressure, so then this has more pressure, so it moves from atmosphere to your lungs. So this is inhalation, this is exhalation. So this is how it happens. Is there any class tomorrow? No, Dinesh. So Sunday is one day where my kids also relax, so I also relax. So we do not meet on Sunday, but all the other 6 days in a week we meet. Yes, Satyendra, hello, hi, a very happy good evening. So thank you so much for joining my lecture. Yes, Dharani, a very happy good evening. Thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Alright, so these are the two parts. Fine. So how does inspiration happen? So how does the process of inspiration happen? Yes. So for inspiration to happen, you have contraction of your diaphragm. So when diaphragm contracts, your thoracic volume increases. So if your thoracic volume increases, then you have your ribs and sternums lifting. Alright, So if they lift up, your pulmonary volume increases because lungs are located in the thoracic chamber. So if this volume increases, your pulmonary volume also increases, right? So if volume increases, pressure decreases. So always remember, so volume and pressure are inversely proportional, right? So pressure decreases. So you have less pressure inside the lungs. So thus from the atmosphere, gas moves inside your lungs. So this is inspiration. All right? Yes? Okay, so are you understanding, Dinesh? Yes? Are you understanding? Okay, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. Hi, Prasanna. Yes, you're a new student. Yes, hearty welcome to my channel. Okay, you're Abhirami. All right. Yes, welcome Abhirami to my channel. A hearty welcome. So thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so Anthony Abhi is very excited about meeting twice a day. I'm really sorry. So towards the next week, around Friday, Thursday, we'll be able to meet only once because I'm packed up with classes. Okay. But I will never leave you, so at least once in a day we will meet, all right? Yes? Okay, so this is inspiration. So how does the process of expiration happen? So quite opposite. So inspiration is nothing but inhaling and this is exhaling, right? So here you have contraction of diaphragm. So here you have relaxation of diaphragm. Okay, so now if your diaphragm relaxes, your thoracic volume decreases. If your thoracic volume decreases, your ribs and sternum return to their original place. So if they return back to the original place, thus your pulmonary volume decreases. So if volume decreases, then the intrapulmonary pressure increases. So now the pressure inside the lungs is high, thus the gas moves from the lungs to the outside. So your carbon dioxide moves out, okay? Yes? Okay, yes, bye Dinesh. So I guess you're not understanding, that's really fine. So only 2 days, yes, I will try to come back, okay? Otherwise then for some days you just have to manage it for 2 days, okay? Okay, all right, fine, because your crash is also getting added, right? So which means I have classes back to back, so that is the reason. But I am not stopping YouTube. Yes, I will come, we will meet, we will discuss, we will have mentee, we will also have a motivational session. But 4 to 5 and 6 to 7 will not be possible. Instead 5 to 6 I will take, all right? But I will let you know it is not from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you have all the 2 classes. Okay, only from Thursday and Friday there will be a small change, but I'll let you know as we come near, okay? Okay, yes, so crash will be in the morning, so this is in the evening, right? Yes, now also I teach for other paid batches in the morning and in the evening I come for YouTube, right? So that is fine, so it does not matter. So this is inspiration, this is expiration. So then we spoke about the definitions, all right? Your doubt about ribosomes. Okay, so what is your doubt about ribosomes? So please ask. Please teach physics. Okay, so I am not very good in physics. I'm really sorry. I'm good in genetics. I'm good in molecular biology. But physics is tough for me. Yes, I will talk to the management to bring physics classes. All right, Prasanna? Yes. Okay, so then we were talking about definitions. So we spoke about respiratory volumes and capacities. So totally we had how many definitions? So we had 4 volumes and we had 3 capacities, right? Okay, so what is the volume? So first one is tidal volume, so which is normal respiration. So this is tidal volume. So in normal respiration, you inhale as well, you exhale as well, right? So both you do, say for example, you inhale 500 ml air and you exhale 500 ml air. So this happens per minute 6,000 to 8,000 times. So 6,000 to 8,000 ml per minute. So this is your tidal volume, alright. Yes, Avinash, hello, hi. So thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. You want the definition of ribosomes, alright. Okay, I will tell you. Yes, all day I am busy. So yes, my classes start from 10. Yes, back to back I have classes. I am not new. This is the same pace. Okay, if there is any physics channel which can teach in English, please let me know. Alright, so this is not the first time you're asking me this question. There are a lot of students who kept asking me the same question, but I really have no idea. I have to check because I'm not a phone person. So I know my class is coming and I know eCareerPoint NEET channel, eCareerPoint JEE channel bus. But I will let you know, okay, I will also let the management know that the students are in need of physics and chemistry classes. Alright, Prasanna. So, sorry, Abhirami, so are you a target student, are you class 11 student or are you a class 12 student? Yes, please let me know. Okay, so this is your tidal volume. The next one is inspiratory reserve volume. How much extra can you inspire? So this is extra inhalation. So half of this is the value. The next one is expiratory reserve volume. So this is extra exhalation. So it is half of this. The next definition in volume is your residual volume, the amount of volume that remains in your alveoli even after forceful expiration. So that is your residual volume, okay. So this is half of this, so this is almost this value, okay. So this is about your volumes. Then moving further, talking about your capacity. So what are the different capacities? So inspiratory capacity. So inspiratory capacity is tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. So expiratory capacity is your tidal volume plus your expiratory reserve volume. Then you have functional residual capacity. So how much residual volume your lungs can hold? So that is your expiratory reserve volume plus your residual volume, right? So then, okay, so I said we have only 3 capacities, no? So we have more, right? So we have almost 5 definitions of capacity. So then you have vital capacity, the most important capacity of your lungs. So it is tidal volume plus IRV plus ERV. The last one is total lung capacity. So that is vital capacity plus your residual volume. So vital capacity is here, all this plus your residual volume. So I hope you remember this much. Okay, so Abhirami, you are 2023 NEET aspirant. Okay, so you are in 11th right now. Okay, so you have a lot of time, so don't worry, alright. So I hope the definitions are clear to everyone right now. Yes. So TLC is your vital capacity plus your residual volume, Satyendam. So this is everything put together, okay. Okay, so with this we are done discussing or revising the previous lecture. So now let's talk about exchange of gas. Yes, alveoli is the site of exchange, but how it gets exchanged in your alveoli? So alveoli are the primary sites of gaseous exchange. So exchange occurs between the blood and the tissues through simple diffusion. So it is like this, right? So I have my alveoli. So I have blood circulation and I have tissue. So first the oxygen has to move to the blood, from the blood to the tissues. So in the same order my carbon dioxide moves out. So these are the actual sites of exchange, okay? Yes? Okay, you're waiting for me to say bye. Yes, bye. If you haven't understood, yes, please watch the first 2 lectures. So if you have any doubts, get back to me. So anyways, I revised, maybe I was a bit fast, so please watch those 2 lectures. So yes, this chapter is important, so please go through them. Yes, Dinesh, bye. Okay. So this is where the exchange happens. The solubility of gases as well as the thickness of the membrane involved in diffusion are important factors. So here you have exchange happening. So when there is an exchange happening, so what matters is first the solubility of gas. If the gas is able to quickly pass from one surface to the other surface. So solubility is the first criteria. And the thickness of the membrane. Suppose if your alveoli is like this, so this membrane thickness also matters, and then the solubility of the gas also matters. So the pressure contributed by individual gas in a mixture of gas is your partial pressure. So when I say atmosphere, so atmosphere has a mixture of gases, right? So it has carbon dioxide, it has oxygen, it has nitrogen, etc. So each of them has a particular pressure which makes up the atmospheric pressure. So oxygen has a particular pressure which contributes to the total pressure. So carbon dioxide has a particular pressure which contributes to the total pressure, right? So the individual pressure is known as partial pressure. So partial pressure is represented by small p. So when I write small p and O2, so this is partial pressure of oxygen. So when I write small p and write CO2, so this is partial pressure of oxygen. Okay, so concentration gradient for oxygen from alveoli to blood and blood to tissue. Yes ma'am, a very happy good evening. So welcome to my lecture. So thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Alright. So opposite is the concentration gradient for alveoli. So what do I mean by these 2 sentences? So oxygen moves from your alveoli to blood, blood to tissue. So maximum concentration of alveoli is in the, maximum concentration of oxygen is in alveoli. Maximum concentration of carbon dioxide is in your tissue, right? So the gradient of carbon dioxide is from tissue to alveoli. The gradient of oxygen concentration is from alveoli to tissues. All right? Yes? Okay, so the membrane is also important. The solubility of the gas as well as the membrane permeability is also important. So diffusion membrane is made up of 3 layers. So it is made up of thin squamous epithelium of the alveoli. Okay, and then you have the endothelium of the blood vessel. And the basement membrane between these 2. So I have my alveoli, okay, I have my blood vessel. So there is exchange happening from the alveoli into the blood vessel. So what are the layers or membranes involved in exchange? So first I have the thin squamous epithelium of alveoli. So here I have thin squamous epithelium of alveoli. Yes. So here I have my blood vessel. So blood vessel is made up of epithelial cells which is known as endothelium. So this is endothelium of blood vessels, and in between these 2 I have a space. So this is my basement membrane. So all these 3 layers are involved in the exchange of gas, right? Is it clear? How to remember these epithelium? It is very simple. So towards the end, so this is your entire alveoli. So towards the end you will have flattened structure. You will not have columnar structure. So squamous is thin flat epithelium. So it is squamous epithelium. And you know the epithelium of the blood is known as endothelium, and in between these two you have basement membrane. So these are the layers that is involved in the exchange of gas. Alright, is this clear? So this is my thin squamous epithelium, this is my basement membrane, this is my blood vessel. So this is my endothelium. Alright? Okay, so this is how the diffusion happens. So once again, from alveoli, it diffuses into the blood. So from the blood, it moves into the tissue. So this is the passage for oxygen, right? So oxygen is present in your alveoli and it moves along like this. So the partial pressure of oxygen is maximum in the alveoli. So the partial pressure of oxygen is maximum in the alveoli. So this is the passage of oxygen. Now what is the passage of carbon dioxide? So carbon dioxide is a byproduct in our tissues because of metabolic reactions. So from tissues it moves into the blood and blood into the alveoli, and then alveoli throws it out. Okay, so tissues have carbon dioxide, so the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is greater in your tissues. Clear? Yes? Fine. So now moving further, transport of gas. So how are these gases carried? So here I told you, so from tissue it moves into blood, blood into alveoli, from alveoli to blood. How? Who's carrying them? Yes, your alveoli exchanges the gas with your blood. Yes, it is simple diffusion from higher concentration to lower concentration. But when you release oxygen here, your bloodstream is long, right? So if I have to carry the blood to kidney, it has to travel. So who will carry oxygen in the blood? So that is of course hemoglobin, so which is a component of your RBC. But is all oxygen carried by your hemoglobin alone? Then how is your carbon dioxide carried? So who carries your carbon dioxide? We only know hemoglobin carries oxygen. So who carries your carbon dioxide? So these were the next question. Okay. So blood is the medium of transport for carbon dioxide as well as oxygen. Okay, so blood carries both. About 97% of oxygen is transported by RBCs. So 97%, that is majority of the chunk, is transported by your RBC alone. So 3% is carried in a dissolved state through plasma. So now we know what is plasma. So plasma is the liquid component of your blood, right? So 97% is carried by your RBC and 3% is carried through plasma. So this is for oxygen. So how about your carbon dioxide then? So 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide is transported by RBCs, whereas 70% is carried as bicarbonate ions. So your carbon dioxide, majority of them is carried as bicarbonate ions and the remaining is carried by your RBC, and about 7% is also carried through your plasma. Okay, so giving you a quick, so I can write it here, how it is transported. Okay, so oxygen is transported by your RBC. This is through hemoglobin and this is 97%, and it is also transported through your plasma in your dissolved state. So this is 3%. So this is how oxygen is transported. Okay, so now how about your carbon dioxide? So your carbon dioxide, 70% is carried by your bicarbonate ion. So 20 to 25% it is carried by your RBC and 7% is being carried by your plasma. So this distribution you have to remember, they might question you. Alright, yes? Okay, so now this is done. So now we will talk about the transport of oxygen. Yesterday we have a trip to CMC Vellore, it is at 6 p.m. Satyendra, alright? Yes. So hemoglobin is a red colored iron containing pigment which is present in your enucleated RBC. So your oxygen binds to hemoglobin in a reversible manner. So when I have a screw, if I have to tighten a screw properly, if I don't do it properly, so every now and then I have to tighten it, right? So this is one reason when where your hemoglobin can bind to carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide as well. Yes, hemoglobin has affinity towards oxygen, but the binding is in a reversible manner and it forms oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so each hemoglobin molecule can carry a maximum of 4 molecules of oxygen. So when your hemoglobin binds to oxygen, so you have to check the partial pressure of oxygen, partial pressure of carbon dioxide and the H+ ion concentration. So in alveoli, you have high concentration of oxygen, so your hemoglobin will tend to bind to your oxygen. So there you will have high partial pressure of oxygen, low partial pressure of carbon dioxide, lesser H+ ion concentration and lower temperature. In the tissue, it is exactly opposite. So every 100 ml of oxygenated blood can deliver around 5 ml of oxygen to the tissues. Okay, so how is it? So here we are talking about the transport of oxygen. Okay, yes sir, a very happy good evening. So thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. So how is the oxygen transported? Yes, oxygen is transported by hemoglobin which is present in your RBC. But when your hemoglobin binds to RBC, so this binding is reversible. And this is known as oxyhemoglobin. Right? Fine. So we have maximum concentration of your oxygen in your alveoli. Yes. So here is the maximum concentration. So here my hemoglobin tends to bind to oxygen. So for this binding to happen, I should have more partial pressure of oxygen, less partial pressure of carbon dioxide, lesser H+ concentration and lower temperature. Only then oxyhemoglobin will be formed. Okay, but in the tissues where I have more concentration of carbon dioxide, so your hemoglobin has to bind to carbon dioxide, right? This is carboxyhemoglobin. Okay, so here the partial pressure of carbon dioxide should be high. The partial pressure of oxygen should be less. So here you should have greater H+ concentration and here you should have greater temperature. So this is the condition for your hemoglobin to bind with carbon dioxide and this is the condition for your hemoglobin to bind with oxygen. So what is reversible? So your hemoglobin can bind to oxygen and it is not a tight bond. Anytime it can separate from each other. So that is what is known as reversible. Yes, is it clear? Yes, everyone understood? Yes, any doubts still here? Is this condition clear? So can we go forward? Yes? So Dharni, you understood what is reversible binding now? Okay. So moving forward, so oxygen dissociation curve. So what is oxygen dissociation curve? So we will see. Ma'am, camera 720. Okay, after class the videos are not clear. Okay, I will tell the technical team because they set the things. Okay. Alright, I will talk to the technical team. Alright, yes. So after classes the videos are not clear, but when I watch, yes, okay, I will let them know. Okay, so I will ask them to increase the resolution. Fine. Okay, so now we have what is called as oxygen dissociation curve. So when your oxygen binds to hemoglobin, so this is known as oxyhemoglobin, right? So I have done this in the form of a graph. So percentage saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen. So one hemoglobin molecule can bind with 4 oxygen molecules. And for every 100 ml of oxygenated blood, so it delivers 5 ml of oxygen to tissues, right? So this is the condition, okay? Okay, Abhi, it's getting recorded in 480, okay, 480 pixel, you want it in higher pixel, okay? You want it in 720 or 1080, yes, understood, fine. So percentage saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen and the partial pressure of oxygen. So as the partial pressure of oxygen increases, so then the hemoglobin continues to bind with oxygen. So when the partial pressure of oxygen is increasing, hemoglobin binds with oxygen, right? So this is your oxygen dissociation curve. So the graph between your percentage saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen with reference to the partial pressure of oxygen, right? So more the partial pressure of oxygen, more is the binding of hemoglobin with carbon dioxide. All right? Yes? Okay. So when this shifts towards the right, so if the graph becomes like this, if it shifts towards the right, then this is known as Bohr's effect. Sorry, when it shifts towards the right like this, right, when it shifts towards the right, that is when it comes down, when the percentage saturation reduces, so this is known as your Bohr's effect. So Bohr's effect happens when you have increased concentration of your carbon dioxide, increased partial pressure of your carbon dioxide, so that is Bohr's effect. So when your oxygen binds with hemoglobin, when you have more partial pressure of oxygen, but suddenly if the partial pressure of carbon dioxide increases, the graph shifts towards the right. So this is known as your Bohr's effect. Alright, so this is an important term, so please remember what is Bohr's effect. Yes, done? Okay, so now moving further, how does the transport of carbon dioxide happens? To 20 to 25%, your carbon dioxide is also carried by your RBC, right? So your carbon dioxide also binds to hemoglobin, and that is known as carb-amino-hemoglobin. So how does this happen? So this is your gaseous exchange, okay? So you have your dissolved carbon dioxide, this is your plasma. This is your RBC. So in your RBC, your carbon dioxide combines with hemoglobin and it forms your carb-amino-hemoglobin. Right? Yes? Yes, Shubham sir. Hello, hi, a very, very happy good evening. Thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Yes, Anthony, you're absolutely right. Okay? Apart from that, we also read 70% of your carbon dioxide is being carried by your bicarbonate ions, right? So carbon dioxide in the presence of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of an enzyme which is known as carbonic anhydrase. They form your carbonic acid, which further dissociates to form your bicarbonate as well as your H+. Thus, at the time of carbon dioxide binding to hemoglobin, you have more H+ concentration. What is carboxyhemoglobin? What is carb-amino-hemoglobin? Carb-amino is when carbon dioxide binds with hemoglobin, it is carb-amino. When carbon monoxide binds with hemoglobin, it is carboxyhemoglobin. Done, Anthony Abhi? Yes, now it's clear? Okay. So, now we are talking about the transport of carbon dioxide. So, carbon dioxide is transported in the dissolved state. It is also carried by the RBC. When it combines with hemoglobin, it forms carbaminohemoglobin. But majority of it is carried by your bicarbonate ions. Okay. So, your carbon dioxide in the presence of an enzyme carbonic anhydrase, it forms your carbonic acid which dissociates into bicarbonate ion and H+. So, now your bicarbonate ions moves out of the RBC and into the plasma. Okay. So, when this bicarbonate ion moves out of the RBC, your chloride ions enter inside the RBC. Why? To maintain the osmotic balance. Okay. So, this is known as your chloride shift, or it is also known as your Hamburger's phenomenon. Right? So, did you understand what is chloride shift or what is Hamburger's phenomenon? So, did you understand how carbon dioxide is being transported? Yes, carbon dioxide is transported in all the three forms. So, that is how it is mentioned here. Right? Yes, clear? Yes, everyone understood? Shimpi, Dharni, Anthony, Satyendar? Grace, did you understand? Avinash? Is it clear? Yes. So, did you understand what is chloride shift? What was Bohr's effect there? No doubt? Yes, can we move forward? Yes, done. Thank you. So, who regulates your respiration? Yes. So, you have a specialized center in your medulla oblongata which consists of your respiratory rhythm center which regulates the process of your respiration. You have another region in pons, that is of your hindbrain. It consists of your pneumotaxic center which moderate the functions of your respiratory rhythm. Apart from this, you also have a chemosensitive area which is adjacent to this respiratory rhythm center, and it is highly sensitive to carbon dioxide. So, you have three regions. So, you have one region in the medulla. Okay. Yes. So, medulla and pons both belong to your hindbrain. Right. So, hindbrain is also known as rhombencephalon. So, medulla consists of your respiratory center. Right. So, this helps in your inspiration as well as expiration. So, your pons consist of a center. So, P and P. So, it consists of a pneumotaxic center. So, this stops the process of inhibition when needed. Stops the inhalation process when needed. Okay. When they feel, yes, you have enough oxygen, it stops the process of inhalation. Alright. Apart from this, very close to this, you have another area known as chemosensitive area. So, this area is very sensitive to carbon dioxide. So, whenever you have increased partial pressure of carbon dioxide, increased H+ concentration, this area will get activated. This in turn will activate your pneumotaxic center to start inhalation process, because you have more carbon dioxide inside your body. So, you have to give out, right? Yes. So, this is how these three regions are interconnected. Done? So, this is your regulation. The last part of this chapter is your disorder. So, we have only three disorders here. So, the first disorder is asthma. So, asthma is when you have difficulty in breathing. So, where you have inflammation of the bronchi and the bronchioles. So, we read recently in the paper we solved about asthma and emphysema, right, in the 2018 paper. So asthma is when you have inflammation in the bronchi and bronchioles, and emphysema is when your alveolar walls are damaged and your respiratory surface is decreased. So emphysema happens due to smoking. Then the last one is occupational respiratory disorder. That is when you work in a factory which has a lot of dust. So every year you're getting exposed, right? So that causes occupational respiratory disorder. So this is your inflamed bronchiole. So this is your normal bronchi. So this is your inflamed one. This is your normal alveoli, and this is your damaged alveoli. All right. Yes, so this is, with this we are done with this chapter, breathing and exchange of gas. So I have covered it fully. I have taught in detail properly. So please join me for this session. So it is at 6 p.m. today. So a trip to CMC Vellore. So please join me at 6 p.m. I am eager for this interactive session with you all. And once again, a gentle reminder of crash course. So please think about it. And if you genuinely liked my class, so please do like, share and subscribe. So thank you for being such a wonderful audience. So this is me wishing you more and most. I hope you guys understood respiration in detail. Yes, so looking forward to meet you at 6 p.m. So until then, stay tuned and take care. Bye.